Oh, my homies. Fun day, but a day of learning. I told you guys before I was going to switch it up today to try to reorganize my prioritization. My clean and jerk has needed some special attention. And oh boy, was that oh so true today. It was full cleans, split jerks separately, and then front squat to finish it off, because I always do Olympic lifting first. I just feel better that way. So I kind of figured I was in for a learning experience, sure, but I had to trudge through. I hit really good weights today. I'm not going to sit here and undermine myself by any means, but God, the cleans I was not worried about at all in the first place. I really just wanted to practice getting under the bar faster, getting really confident with that heavyweight, specifically the jump from 315 to 345, because it's a bigger warm-up jump, but that's how I roll, and it's one that tanks me a good bit. So I'm very thankful to have gotten through 315 with relative ease, like crushed it up to 315 for sure. No worry there. And then 345 took 3 attempts. The first one, it just wasn't close. I wasn't pulling through the third pull high enough. The second one was a lot closer. I got underneath it fast enough, but I didn't commit to my elbows getting up just slightly quicker, because it's holding it on the front delts in the bottom of a clean position is a bit different than holding it on a snatch, because it's like you have to drop the core like you would drop it on the snatch, sure, but you also have to whip your elbows and really stabilize your delts. I think a lot harder on a clean than on a snatch, because on a snatch it's so much more spinal. If the weight lands where it's supposed to, it's going to feel very mid-foot balance type deal, and front squat's always going to feel a little bit heavy toward the front foot, and obviously if you have a really good clean, you'll catch it mid-foot, but it's just, if it's caught on the front delt, it's going to feel like you're pushing off your toes a little bit. So it was really hard to get in the position I needed to get in, but that third one was that perfect mix of highest third pull, extension, and getting under as fast as I can while really tightening my upper back, not letting my shoulders and elbows get loose, really taking my time to know I have it and then stand up. I almost kind of paused it in the bottom, but I did get it up, which is going to be great for transitioning into my next heavy days in the future. Getting confident at this 345 weight is going to be what makes clean and jerking a lot easier. But that's where it took a bit of a turn, because I was never worried about the cleans. I was very worried about the split jerks. I didn't know what to do today, because I've done split jerks in the past where I do the jerk, walk out from the rack, and then strict press it back down on the descent instead of letting it kind of follow my front delts. I've never trained that before, and it doesn't feel good to me. I have very prominent collarbones, and they get hit really hard when I let the bar crash on my front. So it's just not my thing, and I might do it in the future, who knows. But for now, I want to take my time learning it my own way. And the walkout was fine. It felt nice to, at that light of a weight, it was not a big deal walking it out forward. I normally walk out my front squats backward, so it was definitely a bit different to get used to, but it did let me stabilize a little bit better walking forward with it, because I had that more of a stress walking it out on the front than on the back, like I would have when I catch a clean, because it's so much easier to do a split jerk straight from a clean, because you immediately come out from that hardest mid-foot balanced drive position. So you don't need to move. You should be exactly where you're supposed to be. So at the very least, walking forward made me stabilize my core a lot more efficiently, I guess you could say. That went well up until about 275, I want to say. 275 was shaky. My front foot didn't get far out like I wanted it to, but I still had a good overhead position. The technique is really good. I'm happy with the dip and drive, but I need to get a little bit stronger when it comes to my upper back and front delt stability, and just being able to hold it confidently there without wobbling at all, because that's the biggest thing that tanks that momentum, that drive through that again, that third extension out of the dip and drive. So when I just eventually resorted to just dropping the weight fully to the ground. Carrying it to my front delt felt horrible. Just letting it fall to the ground and then taking everything off but 2 plates and power cleaning it back up didn't provide any stress on my body that wasn't already there. That's warm-up weight for me, so chilling. Man, 295 humbled the fuck out of me because it was the first time in a while that I caught my split jerk with my upper back leaned backward. Instead of my head and upper back pushed through, my split with my feet was perfect. But, even though my elbows were locked out, my upper back was leaned backward, which puts a ton of stress on your low back when you have to recover, as well as your mid back. It just, and you immediately have to balance backward without being able to fully stabilize in that catch position. So if you don't immediately have it, you're fucked. So I at the very least wanted to give myself the attempted 315. I got it just fucking barely. Again, I still caught it leaning backwards a good bit, but no full elbow bend. There was definitely an elbow wobble, but I wouldn't discredit the lift at all by any means. But it was tough. But again, this is a learning experience. You are supposed to mess up when you work. Anything you're passionate about or anything you try to make progression on, you are not meant to succeed initially. You're just not. If you are, you might be a prodigy, but a lot of prodigies end up doing what they do out of obligation because they've just always been good at it. I grew up really good at art. I won statewide competitions. I was told to go to school for it. I got introduced to national competitions for that, and I was in the 9th grade. I was like 13, 14, and I dropped it. Not because I didn't give a shit. I still draw every now and then in my free time, but I didn't like how easy it came to me, I suppose, and I know that may seem ignorant, but I never really had to struggle through it as much. And I had my points for sure where I struggled in my own ways, but I never had any stress of like, will I ever succeed in this? I just kind of just fucked around and always made progress. The gym took over that because I only have so much time in the day to really get passionate about certain things. And the gym really took over that for me because of how hard I had to work to get to where I'm at now. I'm not a prodigy by any fucking means in this sport. My body is not built for Olympic lifting. I'd be way better off powerlifting when it comes to competition. My body's just, I'm a little bit taller. I'm built better for it. I'd probably be an incredible sumo deadlifter if I got into it at some point along the road, but that was not my shit. And I couldn't be more grateful that I struggled so long and so hard to get to this point because I've come to appreciate it that much more, So at the very least, I had a full lockout and I had a perfect split when it comes to my split jerk. I just caught it wonky as fuck. The issue beyond that was, I fully fucking broke one of the 45-pound plates, man. I couldn't believe that shit. Man, I'm saying, like, I cracked the plate down the fucking middle, and I'm sure you've seen it by now, this late in the video. I took the safety rack off because I wanted to not hit it while I was lifting because it's so easy to hit it especially if I failed behind somehow. I've never failed a split jerk behind, but you never know. And fucking damn, dude, it made a loud crack noise, and it didn't like really fuck the plate up permanently. They'll be able to fix it, but the workers definitely got a good laugh out of the tomfuckery I was presenting today. But again, you have to take your fuck ups in stride, man. Like I said, you're meant to mess up. This is not a sport that just comes to you, typically at the very least. And the people who are prodigies at it, good for fucking you, because this is a very rare thing to just be good at. If you've ever seen like Colby Ferguson, that man is built for the fucking sport, and he does not even have the, like, I complain about my proportions sometimes. He don't got the proportions for the fucking sport, and he just does it anyway. He's just naturally fucking strong. It kills me to think about what he could do in powerlifting with his body composition. He looks like he'd bench and squat like a motherfucker, but here he is clean and jerking 500 pounds, in 3 years of training. I've been training for like 4.5. Shit. But again, either way, front squat, pulled it back together. I'm very happy with how it went. I haven't front squatted in over a week, and that was the lift I missed when I got sick and had the knee tweak last week. So I didn't expect much, and I just barely got 405, but I did fucking get it, and I held my upper back as tight as I could, and I'm very, very proud of that, without a doubt. Got to take that with stride for sure. So even though everything was really close today, I still had all makes. I hit every top lift. That is a big fucking win, especially within 3 attempts on the clean. That's awesome. The split jerk is struggling. I think I'm going to start with the split jerk next time, so I'm just fully primed for it, because my clean is strong enough. You know, it's only just slightly stronger than my split jerk, but doing my split jerk right after just made the technique so damn difficult. That was the hardest part about it. So I'm going to try the split jerk first next time, because that's the weakest link right now. That's the one that needs the most stabilization. It might be a mistake, but again, I'm supposed to fuck up, so I figure it out and I learn. If that makes my core weaker for the cleans, or makes it tougher to do my split jerks, because sometimes doing a full body clean can actually prime your body to do that next lift that's a bit harder on your CNS. You never know. But I need to try everything, because right now, that's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to really get my head and my upper back pushed through. And I think it has a bit more to do with how I was holding the barbell. I was holding it more like a front squat. In a front squat, you can have your head dipped back a bit more, have a lot more strain on the shoulders, because you're just trying to hold them steady. You're not a lot, with a split jerk, you want to be able to have your elbows, slightly pointed down just a little bit, so that you have that upward momentum when you drive through it. Walking it out straight from the rack, it's really easy to just let your elbows go above the bar, if not directly parallel in front of them. So, things to think about. One way or another, I will fucking progress. That's all I care about. We will get there. Physically, it was a crazy day, but I felt great. The technique wasn't perfect. I struggled. I had some wacky fuck-ups today, but everything's there. Great day of conditioning. I have to give it a flat 9, right on that cusp, because it's just, everything was there. I'm just not fully peaked today at all. If I were peaked, 345 would have been moving. But I'm glad I committed and got underneath it at the very least. Mentally, 9.15. Pretty solid day. I can't complain. Excited for a weekend off of work. I'm vibing, I'm going out with the homies. I cannot complain. I'm a happy, jolly fucking boy. I'm just excited. I'm just jumping to get back in there. That's the only thing. Tomorrow's going to be snatch, back squat, bench press, so I won't see any clean and jerk work until I come back for my next rest day, about 2 or 3 days from now. But either way, you will see me. Let me know how the lives and lists been going. I love hearing about it, and I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.